Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, welcome to one more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, and this week joining us from Germany is Daniel Lenhart. Hi Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hi Vasco, good to be here.
So Daniel never knew what his dream job would be, but now that he's a Scrum Master, he's loving it. He studied biology in the university and switched fields to software development, and this really showed him the importance of cross-disciplinary learning and, of course, also looking into new areas of interest. And it's definitely a first-person story there on changing areas of interest. So, Daniel, that was a short intro. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how did you end up becoming a Scrum Master?
Yeah, thanks, Vasco. You already said it. I studied biology in the university. And it's a really nice field of interest. You learn a lot about different areas, about mathematics, informatics, chemistry, and of course also biology. And at the end of my studies, I recognized that I had a very keen interest in all things technology. So I started looking into it on my own with the internet and all the knowledge which is there. You can find a lot of great stuff there, like free online coding sessions and so on. And I enrolled there in an online university and took some classes about programming, which really interested me. And so at the end of my studies, I founded a small business, which I did development work for small clients, which was really nice and was a lot of fun. Yeah, but then after some time I recognized, okay, it's very cool because you learn a lot. You are on your own, you're self-reliant, you work with clients, you do everything from accounting, getting new clients to development.
I know how that feels.
Yeah, because you can imagine. And it was very, very interesting. And I learned really a lot. It was one very interesting phase in my life. At the end, I had then the opportunity when my studies were complete, whether I would scale this business or I go into a bigger company to learn more. And I decided to go and apply for some companies to learn more because it was really hard with having no informatics or development studies, but the biology in the background. So everybody was asking, oh, okay, why are you doing this? What's your experience? And it's sometimes a bit harder in Germany when you don't have an official certificate as a switcher to get this kind of recognition. And so I thought, okay, maybe if I work some couple of years in a company, then it's enough and I can get back to my business. But that was the plan in the past. It didn't turn out so, but that's fine. It's very good. And then I applied for a company for a development job, and it was really cool company. It was pharmaceutical area, and it was really cool because I could use some of my biology skills, but also used my development skills, and it was really nice combination. Yeah, but then after some time, I saw that the programmer lifestyle is not my lifestyle because you have to work a lot for the computer and you solving problems. It was all fine, but I strive for this human contact. I really realized that I need this work together with humans and this human touch. And so when the position was offered in a team that somebody from the devs could be a Scrum Master, I was the first to volunteer. And then I got a certification, got some training, and I'm loving it ever since. And it's I didn't notice this job was there in the past, but it's my dream job.
Absolutely. Like you said in the intro that I read at the start, absolutely. And of course, this attraction for the human side, some people call it the soft side of software development, is definitely very common in Scrum Masters. And as we grow, as we learn, if we didn't know, we learn through experience that it really is a key aspect of being a Scrum Master to to like to work with people and to focus on those soft aspects, people relationships, developing trust, enabling collaboration, all of those things. And perhaps, the story of failure you have to share with us is about that. I don't know, but that's the question we ask here on Monday. So, Daniel, tell us a story of a moment where you as a Scrum Master, you tried your best, but at that time, as it happens to all of us, you were still in your learning journey, and that didn't really work. So walk us through that story so that we can then dive into the details and learn from that. But tell us the story first, Daniel.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, like you just suggested, it is something about the soft skills. So when I started as a Scrum Master, it was not directly at the beginning, it was some later time, but I had a team which was very diverse, and all the developers and the product owner were much older than me. So it was also something where you kind of then need some time to develop or get the respect from the people, and was very challenging. I liked the challenge, and everybody worked fine with me. That was no problem. But then there was one time where we had one developer who was more external, and he had a very big conflict from the other developers. And when the conflict developed, he had a big conflict with all the rest of the team. It was about the quality of his work, so it was a very sensitive topic also. And when there was one scene during a daily when one discussion about a certain story escalated, and then there was started more emotions, then there was yelling, and I was standing there on the sides and was not so experienced at the time, and was really struggling. So what should I do now? How can I break up this conflict? What's the best situation? And I was really frozen, because this conflict was all of a sudden so emotional, and I was so swept by it that I didn't know what to do. And then it really escalated, and I didn't want it to escalate, and I wanted to be the Scrum Master who then kind of does conflict management and helps the team to resolve this conflict fast and not let it escalate any further. But I was really struggling with the situation. Until then, one other developer kind of swept a little bit in and supported me there and said, "Hey guys, let's not fight here." And then I broke out of this freeze and kind of finished the meeting, said, "Okay, this doesn't make any sense here." Broke off the meeting, sent everybody to their places, and then collected my thoughts, what to do. And then I started one-on-ones with each of the team members, discussed with them what the problem was, tried to find a solution. And then we kind of tried to work it out. And really, and that was really interesting, because this situation then showed me how important it is to have this personal conversation with each of the team member and asking, okay, why is there a problem for you? That's behind the conflict. I think this is one of the most important questions for a Scrum Master. For once, asking the people why, and sometimes also explaining why you're doing stuff, or why you're asking the question, or what you're doing there. But this really made this clear to me, and it was kind of a revelation. And then when I asked them why, he told me what his reasoning is, and so on. And we could then, after a lot of conflict management and a lot of talking and communicating between everybody, we kind of resolved the conflict, and the team working was better together. At the end, unfortunately, this rift was so great. I did my best to kind of help the team to grow together again, but then the developer went away from the team because there was too much grief there, and personal problems also. And then he went away. It was unfortunate, but at the end, the team profited immensely, because it then grew much stronger together. And this also showed me that it was very hard, kind of this breaking up of the team and forming a new team. But it showed me that sometimes when you do everything, when you tried everything, and I really tried everything, and you do your best, sometimes something's not working out. We are human beings. We have different backgrounds, you have different personality traits, and sometimes some combinations don't fit good together. And then when you try everything, then sometimes there has to be taken the decision that, okay, maybe we should try something else and maybe split the teams a little bit to make it work better. And it really did.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great story, by the way. It happily has a happy ending, at least for the team, and potentially even for the team member who left. They might have found something that was more suited to their skills and their knowledge and their ability to develop and contribute to other teams. A couple of things that come to my mind as important in this story is, first, to be ready to handle conflict, right? You said that you froze when the communication escalated into basically shouting at each other. And the other thing is trying to resolve the conflict, but then accepting that at some point some conflicts are not resolvable and it's better to part ways. So for me, those were the two key moments in this story. How about you, Daniel? What would be the key aspects of this story you want our listeners to take?
Yeah, one thing is it's fine that some things don't work out. So when this conflict was happening, I was frozen. I really struggled with myself afterwards and said, okay, hey, you're the Scrum Master. It's your job to kind of prevent this kind of big escalations that everybody's yelling, because the people really started yelling. They were emotional, and that's normally not something you see, I think, in a professional work environment. And there was a really, so okay, they were really angry with themselves afterwards. So this colleague who yelled at the other colleague then came to me and said, "Oh, I'm feeling so bad because I exploded this way. It's not I'm not this kind of person. I'm really feeling bad for doing this, but I couldn't help myself." And so I was really, really feeling bad about myself that I didn't kind of prevent this. And it took some time and also some discussions with the colleagues. And there was the one colleague who helped me break the session up. He's a little bit older than me and was working a little bit longer. And he's very happy with the development role, but sometimes he has also some of this good soft skill traits. And then he said to me one thing which I really remembered. He said, "Yeah, Daniel, it's fine. Sometimes these things happen, so don't feel bad about it. It's part of the learning experience, and the important thing is what you're doing out of it, how you react and afterwards, what you're doing to clean up the situation." And he said, "Yeah, doing this very good. You kind of talking to it, you find a solution." So sometimes even when you're feeling bad about how you react in the moment, it's not a problem, because we are all humans.
Absolutely.
And I think this is part of Agile and Scrum, of sometimes you're doing mistakes, but the important thing is what you're doing out of these mistakes, whether you learn from them, how you react in the future maybe, and also what you're really doing after this whole escalation, whole big conflict. The conflict was bound to be happen at some point. Maybe it was if I was moving in or if I acted earlier, then maybe it wasn't so big and loud, but maybe then it would erupt when I'm not there. So I don't know. But the important thing is what you do afterwards. And it really opened my eyes to see, okay, it's fine. I didn't do something wrong there because I did everything right afterwards.
Absolutely. A great story. Thank you for sharing that, Daniel.
Sure. You're welcome.
Monday is about what we learn from our obstacles and our failures. But tomorrow is Team Tuesday here on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. We explore teams and their journeys, the habits they develop that threaten their performance, how each of our guests help their teams evolve, and the one key lesson they learned from that experience. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.